yo. See Maurice Ball, and y'all know who it is, what it is, and what we do. And today we are on location again in an amazing space, talking to an amazing woman who's doing amazing things out here in this community. But first, hit the scrolling thing down at the bottom, subscribe, like, and do all that good stuff. And check this intro. So, well. I am sitting here with this amazing woman doing amazing things. Got her fresh pink on today, looking fly. This is Miss Deidra Collins. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Blessed, booked, but I'm doing really good today.
Doing really good today.
Yes.
So look, these are people, right? Like they good people. They are friends of ours, but they're doing things out in the community. They're business owners, they're community change agents, and they just out doing things. So Miss Deidre, tell us, like, you rocking today. You feel good.
Yeah.
You got your pink
Got my
on,
pink on.
and
Yeah.
and you having a good day. So, where you originally from?
I am originally from Louisville, Kentucky, born and raised, but moved to New Albany. I'm an auntie, 51, 52. So when all the busing started in Louisville, my family booked it over here to New Albany. So New Albany's home. So Southern Indiana girl for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So born and raised.
hmm
What age was when you left, when y'all left Louisville?
I want to say I was 4. Then we moved to New Albany. I love New Albany. That's great memories there. Parents got divorced, and so we moved to Jeff. So I grew up in Jeff from ninth grade all the way to high school. So
Okay.
yeah.
So you was over at Scribner or Hazelwood?
Hazelwood. I was a Hazelhood.
Hazelwood. Seventh,
Yeah.
8th grade. What
Yeah.
what was the 8th grade Deidra like?
The eighth grade Deidra was really shy, book smart, but just wanting to see what else is out there. Met some amazing friends. I remember being super shy and sitting at a table at lunch, and then a friend of mine, Marlo Brown, just came over and basically bullied me. Like, you want to be friends? Like, yes, please. And so it just opened me up to my shell. So yeah, just shy, insecure, but very book smart, looking for a way to do something different than
Okay.
Southern Indiana.
In
Yeah.
Southern Indiana.
hmm
That's key, y'all, because
Yeah.
Southern Indiana it's a little different.
Yeah.
But so where you fall at in the sibling line in your
Yeah.
family, where
I'm the oldest.
the oldest.
Yeah, you
of-
probably can tell. All the bossing and organization and stuff I do. Yeah. I'm the
hey,
oldest.
she's solid too.
Yeah.
So you're the oldest
three
of how many?
girls. Three
Three
girls.
girls?
Yeah, 3 girls. No brothers, sisters.
Oh, how? Okay, what was the house like?
Yeah.
At when you were what, 12, 13? What was that like, being the older sister, and then kind of probably taking on mommy
Yeah.
duties when you didn't have to? What was that like?
It was good for me. My sisters probably think something was different, but my mom had me at a young age, 16. So of course the respect was there, but I like to say we grew up with each other. She had me at 16, and so being a single mom, she was finishing her degree. So yeah, I stepped in, supported where I could. Helped get them dressed, the hair, and everything like that. But we all 3 got our own personalities. So they kind of ventured off and pretty like, well, I want to do it this way. I want to wear tennis shoes. I want to wear a dress with Nikes, so I couldn't make them into my image. But yeah,
You tried though.
I tried. I tried. Yes, yes.
Were you a good big sister?
I like to think so. I was really protective. I try to go to their games because the elementary school we were at, and even Hazel would, it was in walking distance, so we could walk and I could support them. And even at some things, when my middle sister moved to Birmingham, going down there to support things she was doing and encouraging her. So yeah, I think I'm a big sister.
Okay.
Even now, yeah, I'm the best.
We know you the fly auntie though.
I am. I'm the fly auntie. They would gladly give me that title.
Oh,
yeah.
for sure. For sure. For sure. I asked her if she wanted to have her shoes shown. She's like, I ain't got shoe game on today.
No, not today.
And her shoe game is on point.
Thank you.
So you going through middle school. What was one of the major challenges that you faced as you said you were insecure and you were bullied? What were some of the other kind of major challenges that you still see circulating in some young women today from some of the things that you faced when you were in middle school?
I would say, especially being a young woman of color, especially back then. Thank God things are different now, but especially a woman of color, young lady of color in Indiana, you just didn't you wasn't seen, you wasn't visible, you wasn't heard. And just trying to navigate that, even from the places where, and again, this is from the woman girl lens, the makeup that we had access to, your hair, your clothes, we was rocking the cornrows with the beads before Serena.
Right.
And so them asking you about your hair. And so, and even just trying to be attractive to young boys, it was just a different vibe. And you were constantly looking for your tribe. And again, you connected with some really good friends of all races. And, I have a friend that I'm still friends with from kindergarten, but it's just really finding your tribe, your voice in that space.
Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, she gonna have to go on the other side.
Like, yeah. Oh God. I was in my groove too. Okay, get back into it.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah. Okay. So in that, what was the, as you were struggling through that, was it something that you were laying the foundation for your sisters to kind of try to say, okay, hey, here's how you're going to have to navigate this space, because they're not going to receive and accept you kind of like this. So let me, was that a conversation that you was having with them?
No, honestly, no, because I was trying to figure it out for myself. And so it wasn't until, all of my family lived in Louisville. And so spending time over there with my cousins and getting involved with organizations like Black Achievers and the music, the culture. And it's like, oh, okay, there is a space. There is, the Chestnut Street Y and, all the things. And so it wasn't until I plugged into that I could even articulate what it was I was feeling. It was a longing to belong, but I didn't know how to articulate it.
That's normal though. You don't know how your piece of the puzzle fits into the puzzle.
Yeah.
So you're trying to do whatever it is that you do to kind of make that piece fit. Were you a fighter?
No, I was not a fighter. I didn't have my first fight until I got to Jeff High.
Okay.
My first and only fight. And it was so traumatic because you remember that movie Lean on Me?
Yeah.
So my first week at Jeff High, I felt like I was an extra in the movie Lean on Me. Girls were fighting in the hall and I'm like, where and why are we here?
Yeah.
And so just going along, in my year, and a girl said I thought I was cute. And I was like, don't you? You know, my mom had six sisters, so all this women energy, and you were always told you're beautiful, you're strong, you're smart, you look good, and so I'm like, don't you? I didn't know that was a bad thing, and yeah, my one and only fight ever,
Ever.
yeah, at least with fist
Right.
and an algebra book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's it. But that's the one and only time I had to physically fight. Yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
She said extra and lean on me.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
oh man.
Mr. Clark.
For those who don't know what lean on me is, if it's a little bit out of your
Yes.
generation, go back and look at Lean on Me. It is a true story about a principal, Joe Clark, in a urban school that goes in, and he's a little unorthodox in his methods, but he does some good work and end up turning that school around. But you'll get you look at it, you'll see like, that's what she meant.
What it is.
Yeah. So here's a question. Was your dad around when you were younger?
He was in and out. He was in the military, and so he was around when he was around. But then when he got transferred to Germany, that totally took him out of the equation. My middle sister ended up leaving Jeff High and went to go live with him in Germany. Okay. And so she had that experience of international, which shaped her view. But no, he wasn't around, times when I needed him, but I definitely had community of, uncles and play uncles and things like that.
How important do you think it is to have that male presence at such a young age?
It's so important, especially for, I'm sure all women, but women of color, when everything around you, and again, things are so much better now with, beauty and wellness and advertisement. I mean, I remember seeing a Black woman on TV, and that was a moment in the atmosphere. And again, I'm telling my age, but when Vanessa Williams won Miss America, that was and so when you're not seen as beautiful or worthy, that starts at home. And so if the man that gave you life or in your life can reassure you and tell you, and just, transparency, just love lessons. I've dated some knuckleheads and that's more because I didn't know my value. But if I had that foundation to be like, you don't have to put up with that, or this is what a real man does, could have avoided some of those situations.
And I think that's the normal response for most people, that male or female, that didn't have that positive, consistent male role model in your life, that you miss a piece, because the affirmation and validation,
that's the word,
comes from the male,
right?
And it kind of solidifies, like you said, the you're beautiful, and I love you. You don't have to go out here and seek that fatherly kind of love out here in the world. So as you start to transition into high school, did you start to find, kind of like, put the pieces of, like, where like you was kind of carved out your niche, and like okay, I'm gonna get to high school, and you said you had one fight in high school. So what was your big takeaway, or one of your big takeaway in high school, and some of the challenges that you faced, but also some of the success stories that kind of propelled you into the latter part of your life?
So I'll start with the successes. And again, seeing yourself is so important, no matter what race you are. If you're Latina, if you're white, even if you're white with red hair. But for me, I had two wonderful teachers. They were Black women, Miss Olivia Hanley, Miss Stellars, and they were at Jeff High, and just seeing them and knowing, just talking to them, and they saw something in me. And they would always, even if I wanted to go left, because you do want to fit in. But
Mm-hmm.
if I
Mm-hmm.
went left with the crop top, they'd be like, no, ma'am. I'm like, but so and so has a, no, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
What's this C doing? What's this? Even thinking about scholarships, and they were educated Black women and sororities, even the way they carried themselves, it was Miss Sellers, it was just something to aspire to. And it just changed my trajectory that, okay, this is what it looks like
To be a
to
successful.
be a successful, not and to be respected. Because even then, and this is 92, 90, 91, 92, even then, if they walked down the hall, they parted the sea. Even the white teachers, the principals, nobody messed with Miss Hanley. They knew. And so I'm like, that's what respect looks like. And to command it without yelling or cussing or that's something that I can aspire to.
That
Yeah.
that is a I went to a predominantly all Black school.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so
Okay.
a lot of our teachers, our principal, all the
Wow.
administration for the most part was all Black, and a lot of my friends went into education
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
they seen it.
Yeah.
And to have an example
Yeah.
of outside of your mom and the six aunties that
Yeah.
you had that was living at this elite level, or
Mm-hmm.
being these strong Black women in
Mm-hmm.
society, you go in outside of your space, and
Mm-hmm.
then you're able to get it affirmed and validated
Mm-hmm.
outside there.
Outside. Yeah.
And the accountability,
Yes.
if they seen something in you, was like, nah, you look different.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
you're not built like
You're
that.
not built like that. What
Yeah.
you doing? You're not a thug.
Right, right.
Exactly.
Go back in
Yes.
there and try that again.
Exactly.
But
Mm-hmm.
that is needed.
Yeah.
Even to this day,
Yes. Yes.
it is
Mm-hmm.
definitely needed. So as you start journeying through your high school, what age were you when you had your first heartbreak?
Ninth grade. Ninth grade, 10th grade. Yes. Thought it was the love of my life. And then I remember being in the back and somebody told me, what? And then I'm like, oh my goodness. And it's like, I never want to live again. I'm never going to love again. And I want to transfer schools. And it's so funny because you look back, and even if I see this person, which I'm not gonna name, I see him at the gas station on the street since I've moved back, and it's just like, you were so corny. You had no clue, no clue. But yeah, maybe it's different for young men, but you just really think the world's gonna end. I didn't want to eat, I didn't want to sleep. And then I remember Miss Sellers like, what are you doing for spring break? And I'm like, oh, nothing. And then Louisville and Southern Indiana is two separate spring breaks. She's like, I'm gonna write you a note. You're gonna take that week off, that Louisville spring break. And I was like, oh, I don't want to. And so what it was, she allowed me to go. I believe it was with Central High School or Male. They went on a college tour, and so she wrote me a pass for educational absence, and we went to Tennessee State.
Wow.
And that campus with all those beautiful Black men, it looked like a bag of Skittles. From the light to the blackberry molasses. I'm like, who? What? I don't know. I got to get up out of here. I wasn't even thinking about him, but yeah, that helped me with my heartbreak. Tennessee State. Shout out to Tennessee State.
What's funny about Tennessee State is my dad wanted me to go to Tennessee State.
Yeah.
And he wanted Lou. I mean, not he wanted Lou. Lou was gonna go to Tennessee State.
Wow.
So we would have all been at Tennessee State
together
in the 90s, and probably would have all missed each other because of the state that we were all in. Yeah, I already know.
Yeah.
Like I didn't make it at a white college.
Exactly.
there's
Yeah.
no way I would have made
Good
it
now.
at a
Now
black
turn
college.
up.
Yeah,
Yes.
all day. So
Absolutely.
you go and you start to see like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Like who what? This little boy and Jeff? Like who bye. I mean, yeah, but it was like Skittles. It was like all colors, shapes, sizes. You know, one guy was talking, I thought he was Indiana black, and he had a British accent. I'm like, what? What? So it was just like somebody took like cataracts off and opened it up, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be just fine. I
Oh
gotta get out
yeah.
of here. I
For
gotta get out of here.
sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah,
So you tracked down, did that have an influence on you when you came back?
definitely, definitely.
That the
I
world is
yeah,
bigger
the
than
world is bigger and so much more, and again, single mom, you know, income was limited, so I found myself reading, and I got a subscription. I had a job at McDonald's, and I got a subscription to Vogue magazine. I still get it to this day, and just seeing the pages and the fashion, and of course, you know, every girl had to have Essence, and um, my favorite show was Dynasty with Diane Carroll. And so that's my style icon to this day. But just knowing that there was more out there, and education and hard work and connection was my way out of it, out of the
I mhm.
situation of feeling less than, you know. And so that's what I did. Even if I couldn't physically go, I would just go in magazines and online, not online, but watching TV and things like that. Yeah,
Created your safe space
absolutely.
outside of where you were,
Hmm.
just to keep you motivated to say, the world is bigger than
Yeah,
than
absolutely.
this little small town
Yeah.
that I live in. And where we are is a small town
Hmm.
relative to right across the bridge in Louisville, where you have the city life, and then you have an hour and 45 minutes north, you're in Indianapolis. So it's kind of, this would technically be considered rural,
Yeah.
and especially back in
Midwest.
the
Yeah.
90,
Hmm.
that time, it
Yeah.
wasn't as developed as it is
No.
now. Only reason I knew about Jeff was because of the basketball team,
Hmm. That's
and
right.
Sharon, was
Yeah.
there, and so
Yeah.
only reason
Hmm.
that I knew about Jeff.
Yeah.
What year did you graduate?
92. Yeah.
You a nine deuce too?
I'm a nine deuce.
Oh, I graduated in '92.
Okay, yes. Class of 92.
Class of '92. Wow, man, look at
Class
that.
of 92.
Then
Yeah.
after you graduated, what was your next step after
After that, so of course I wanted to go to Tennessee State,
that? Of
but
course.
I couldn't get the money to get across the line. So I ended up going to University of Louisville. And so that's where I went. Had a great time there, great experience. Um, Met my first love of my life, my daughter's father, great guy. And then, you know, just young love, distractions,
Mhm.
and then became a young mother in college. And so then I stopped going, and, you know, went back, stopped, and raised her, you know, with his help, with his family's help, and just started working just to make a better life. And completing the degree, just pinching at it. Because at that time, it's like, okay, I got to pay for it.
Mhm.
So that was my journey, but still always um, wanting something different, experience something different. And so we would, you know, take weekend trips to me and her to Indianapolis and, you know, Nashville, Chicago, just the two of us, you know, just from looking in the magazine, we're gonna eat sushi. You know, we're gonna try a steak medium rare. And I remember the family like, ugh, it's got blood on the plate. But just because if Diane Carroll did it, I did it. Escargot. Now we can only get one,
Right.
but still, yeah.
So you created an
Consignments.
experience. What was one of
Exactly.
your, as a young mom, what is one of the things that you think was one of your biggest hurdles as a young mom?
It was and I don't say this because I know it's hard, but honestly, I was so blessed with her dad, and I knew that. I knew, even though it wasn't planned, I knew if I brought her into the world, I would be okay. And so I didn't have it as hard as a lot of people. And there was even a season where he's like, just finish your degree,
Hmm.
finish, go to school. And
Hmm.
so he took her for a year, and he ended up joining the Navy. And so she was in Spokane, Washington. And I remember getting a lot of grief from that. Like, I was like, I didn't give her up for adoption. She's with her father,
Right.
and he had to reassure me, like, Deidra, who cares what they say? I'm her father. He was doing the Afro puffs, and it was the best experience for all three of us. And so, yeah, times were hard financially because the income, but I really had the support all around, his family, my family. So I had it better than a lot of people did.
That is a great story,
Yeah.
and it gave her time to build that
Oh
bond
yeah,
with
and
her
they
dad.
still have it.
You know, and
Yeah.
that's important because
Hmm.
it's something that you missed out on
Absolutely.
that she got a chance to
Yeah.
get. So
Yeah.
it's that
Yes.
there's nothing like a father's
Yeah.
hug. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like
Yeah.
that means something.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't even have a daughter, but
Hmm.
I understand the
Absolutely.
importance of it.
Yeah.
And so you trekking through, and you graduate from the U of L.
No, not from U of A. I ended up going and finishing up online
Okay.
with University of Phoenix, and
Okay.
yeah, getting it that
What's your
way.
degree in?
Business admin.
Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Business
however you get
administration.
it, like the
Yes.
finish line don't care about how you
No,
cross it.
it's just that piece of paper.
It just care that you
Hmm.
cross it. You know, you
Absolutely.
roll across, you stumble across, you get
Yeah.
pushed across, you
Yeah.
dive across it.
Exactly.
It
Hmm.
it doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you what was your first experience in the real world? Did you get married after that? Did you
No,
know?
I
Okay.
didn't. I did
What
not.
was your first like when you graduated and you started to kind of think, what was your first thing to kind
Yeah,
of be like, oh,
I
okay.
did it. Well, the funny thing is, I didn't have that. It was a piece of paper because, again, just divine alignment. I found myself temp agency and networking. I found myself having some really good jobs, and actually my work experience ended up being the degree, and the degree was the paper.
Hmm.
I worked for some really phenomenal companies in different industries. I worked for an explosive company. I worked at Fortune 500s, and first an admin, then I would go to production, then I would be on a project team. And so that was really my degree there. And then again, some really good people in my life like, just get the paper.
Hmm.
And I'm like, there we go. And it wasn't until I got a job, and this is so funny to say now, that I was making 52,000, that I was like, I've arrived.
Right.
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm
Right.
good. Yeah, that's
Right.
what it was. And I got a job offer for 52,000. Yeah. Uh-huh.
She said that's funny, y'all.
Yeah.
So for y'all that's coming up,
Yeah.
y'all young bucks and peewees,
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
you said 52,000. That's some money.
Yeah.
It is,
Yeah.
but when you ball
Yeah. Yes.
it,
Yes.
so so technically, like the like your life has been curated for the month. Like you've been in a
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of
Yeah. And not
a
easy by any means, but
but nothing
again,
tragic, nothing
nothing
that
tragic. Of
yeah.
course, but when I say just people looking out for me, and planting seeds for me, and even me planting seeds that came back to fulfill me. I remember losing a job and being unemployed, and I'm like, okay, what do I do? And I ended up doing Meals on Wheels just for something to do. And I would do Meals on Wheels, talk to someone, a lady, and she was just so good to me. I remember getting in trouble because I kept missing And then she passed away, and I got a letter from an attorney, which I never got at that time. And she left me like $5,200 in her will, and I paid off a
Wow.
student loan with it.
Wow.
She just like the conversation over Meals on Wheels. It was
Yeah.
just, yeah, those kind of seeds like that. His name is Damon Devin's dad. I mean, his mom. I remember her blessing me with her car. She worked at Ford. She upgraded, rightfully so, and just gave me a car. Blessed me with that. And that car we just got rid of in the family like 8 years ago. I got this car when I was like 25, and I passed it on to a niece that passed it on to a cousin that came back to another. But it's just those kind of blessings that seem to follow me that I'm so grateful for.
That
Yeah.
is that's some good stuff.
Hmm.
What's your relationship like with God right now?
Um, it's more conversational than in the word Bible. I we have a conversation like I talk to him like he's my best friend. And it's been really just being obedient, the alignment that I'm in right now in this season. And it seemed like it hit me at like 50. And I'm like, what is this? And I just, every time I'm in alignment, things seem to just really be where they're supposed to be. And then there's times I'm disobedient and I'm like, and I know, and this is our conversation with God, like, girl, didn't I
Right.
tell you? Are you surprised? Are
Right.
you
Right.
surprised? And then
Right.
also that fearlessness of understanding my alignment with him, not and my husband or my mother or whoever else, like, what? You gonna do that, or you gonna give that, or you're gonna move, or you're gonna sell a house and move into a one bedroom. Like, yeah, and I'm at peace with that because this is our alignment. So
Right.
yeah, yeah, and that confidence and not having to explain it, because I used to be a big explainer and justification.
Hmm.
Yeah, that people pleaser that comes from being the oldest.
A
Yeah.
people pleaser. How long did you carry that?
Oh, forever, forever. I want to say like 47 going into that 50 is like I really woke up, but it was always that, well, let me go to Maurice's this and this because I don't want to be mad at me. He invited me. I gotta go, even though I'm tired or
Hmm.
even though I'm broke. Even I'm. You want me in Bahamas for your wedding, even though we ain't seen each other since freshman year.
Right.
Okay, let me do this. Let me run up a card just to go and say faith, all of that. But that just shifted like 47. Yeah.
Did that have any hindrance? Was that a big hurdle for you actually as you were navigating when you were younger though as well?
Absolutely. Because
Certain.
I constantly put other people's pleasure and comfort um, before my own,
Hmm.
to the point where I would be uncomfortable, I would be tired, I wasn't getting fulfilled, and then I found myself um, mad or angry, and they're just like, well, what's the problem?
Right.
you
Right.
know and so
Right.
I'm like, okay, all right, but it's still it was just part of who I was, that people pleasing part. Yeah.
If you
Hmm.
could go to an age and tell your younger self something, what age would it be, and what would you what would you say?
um It would be it would be like that's a good question, Dr. Bao. I would say it would be 40s.
Okay.
It would be 40s. And I was in beast mode with my career, working, but I wasn't happy. The money was there. Um, and I looked at it as beast mode, but I really think it was protection. It allowed me to disconnect. I wasn't really dating anybody.
Hmm.
I worked. Yeah, yeah, but it wasn't fulfillment.
What would you say?
I would say don't chase the money, chase the purpose, chase
Mm,
the happiness. And I tell young people that all the time because, you know, we grew up where you got to get the degree and
right.
it's got to be business, pre law, pre med. You better
Yeah.
not go to school talking about, I want to study music.
Right.
At least not in our community.
That is
That's
funny
a
because
hobby.
I told
Yeah.
my dad I was going to be a DJ. And that's exactly what he did.
Yes.
That joker looked at me and laughed.
Yes.
Didn't even take me serious.
Yes.
And
Yes.
didn't never
Not at
become a good.
all. You
Yeah.
bet not. Or you
Yeah.
can go work at Ford or GE, Philip
Yeah.
Morris. Yeah. Go work at a plant.
Yeah.
But other than that, but to do it all over again, it was more checking the box to what it looks like instead of how it really made me feel. And so a
Yeah.
lot of dumb mistakes financially, spiritually, emotionally. And I would say don't betray yourself. Know thyself and don't betray. The maddest I've ever been is when I betrayed myself, not even at the person. And that's including my husband. When I betrayed myself, when I knew it was no or it don't feel good, I don't, I get mad because you know better because I'm betraying myself. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
when you put yourself on there
Mm-hmm.
and then you look back, you like,
Yeah.
I can't point no fingers.
Right.
It was
Yes.
me.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So as you was so at what point did you meet your awesome, amazing husband in this
In
journey?
this journey,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I got married. I got married late. I never thought I would get married ever. I'm not one of the ones that had their Barbies in my book. I didn't want to get married. My parents had a horrible divorce, and so it just turned me
Mm.
off. And then again, I'm looking at Dynasty. I'm like, I'll just have a lover, and we'll just love on each other without, a piece of paper. I'm good with that. And so, and honestly, that's one of the things that made it not work with my daughter's dad because he wanted to get married, have a family, and I just didn't want. Now I know I didn't want that same relationship my parents had with that horrible divorce. Like I'm
Mm.
good, I'm good. So yeah, and I met him at 40 in my 40s, at the beginning of 40s, 42, and wasn't ready, and it was a happy accident, happy crash. So yeah, there's been a journey of maturity, discovery, grace, um, alignment again. Yeah, all those
What was
things.
your biggest adjustment in becoming married?
Um, Giving up the power and having a partner, again being that only child, single mom. It's always been me, and then coming from such a lineage of strong women, it's we can do it. We don't need a man. You might want a man, but you don't need it.
Hmm.
Do it, do it, do it. Make sure you're self sufficient in case he leaves. And I remember him telling me, you always love me with one foot in, one foot out. Like either shut the door, lock the window,
Right. If you
or
out, if you
yeah,
out,
you
hey.
out. He said you can't keep. I'm like, what? But yeah, so it was that independence and not giving it up, but actually just sharing my life completely.
Was
That
that
was
scary?
major. Yeah, because it's about control. And it's like if I share my life, my finances, my this, my home, my car, because I even never even lived with anybody until my husband.
Wow.
I dated, you had your place, I had mine. Yeah, it was sharing my life. And that was scary because it was about the control and being disappointed too, being hurt.
Those broken relationships will do it every time,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
the broken examples will do
yes,
it every time. And I think
yes,
a lot of people miss out because of that.
Mm-hmm. It's
And
true.
because we see these broken relationships for the people that came before us, and we like, nah, we don't want no parts of that.
Yeah,
Because I
absolutely.
I thought the same way you thought.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was not getting married
Yeah. Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Like,
Never.
yeah,
Right.
you
Yeah.
keep that craziness,
Yeah. Yeah. We
and
good. Yeah.
right, and never lived with nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sort of, but but you get you look at these, how marriage was portrayed in the 60s, 70s, and
Mm-hmm.
80s, raised in the 90s. So in the 90s, we're teenagers,
Yep.
and so we see the abuse, we see
Mm-hmm.
the infidelity, we see
Mm-hmm.
all these things, and we attribute it to being married and not
Yes.
the person's
True.
heart or maturity level
True.
at that time.
Yeah.
And I remember my dad got married. I could not stand her.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, and she used to do stuff like break stuff and blame me.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Wow.
crazy because I'm the youngest. Well, I'm the youngest of three, but I'm the only one that
Yes.
live with my dad. So I was raised
Yes.
as an only child, and he
Yeah.
got married and kind of messing my flow up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah. It's us.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Uh-huh.
she would do stuff, and I'm like, Dad, I did not break that.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
didn't. And he was
Yeah.
like, well, you're the only one in the house. I'm like, no,
No, I'm not.
she did it. you know, and
Wow.
then he realized like she was evil, and then he ended
Mm-hmm.
up getting divorced. But those are all
Oh yeah.
these are notes that we take and
Mm-hmm.
reference points.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to your mom's broken relationship, six aunties, whatever broken
Yeah.
relationships that you kind of sat through
Yeah.
with them,
My
or
dad and his three marriages. Yeah.
yeah, and then your homegirls,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
so it
Yeah.
becomes, then your homegirls start to get married, and
Yes.
you start to look, and you like, oh, it's really happy, and then on
Yeah.
the backside you're like, oh
Yeah.
no,
Yes.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it becomes a self-preservation mode.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you did what you said you did. You
Right.
insulated yourself and climbed the corporate ladder.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. That's it.
But then
Mm-hmm.
you realize like, I wasn't fulfilled.
Yes. 100%.
I
100%.
might
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep one foot in. I'm gonna give you a look. You like this?
Yeah. Yeah. Like hopscotch.
Yeah. What we doing? Oh, you out?
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
what are one of the, in your journey, and in your walk, you've grown in corporate.
Mm-hmm.
You currently work in a corporate space,
Right.
but you also are an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
doing big things out here with an amazing, dope construction, owning a construction company, and into commercial real estate. And what's your passion right now? Do you have a passion for like
Mm-hmm.
business with young ladies, young teens, young teen girl?
Yeah.
What's the thing that if you could start, you would be your thing to
Yeah.
what would be your thing?
It would definitely be entrepreneurship and women empowerment. Really, my heart is in empowering women. And that's women of all races, because there is such a need, especially in this community and this space. And again, that alignment, I didn't have it here. I had to go away. I lived in Houston for 3 years and then would come back and forth. I just got back here in October with a position with my corporate company. But when I got to Houston, it's again that same vibe. Weaken the Knees I got at TSU, I got in Houston, and I saw women, particularly women of color, um, collaborating, communicating, not competition, but really supporting each other, checking in. And it would just be walking down the street. What you working on, sis? Or you look beautiful. Like, what are you talking to me? Because here it just wasn't that vibe. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't. And
Mm-hmm.
so I really just prayed for a space, a community, and skipping forward, I started coming back and going back to Houston. I launched the building Wall Street Suites, which has suites for women that are starting their business, launching, just in the community, line dancing. I met your amazing wife, and then this tribe of women that aren't even from here. The women that I'm connecting with and growing with and encouraging me, and I'm encouraging them, are 90% transplants.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's I can count on one hand the women that I grew up with and are dear friends with, and we really are hard about supporting each other, showing up for each other. But majority of them are transplants, and like you and your wife, y'all been here, and we're looking like, where you been?
That's the same thing we said about y'all.
Right. You said for years. I'm like,
Like,
oh, y'all just moved? Like, no, our son, we raised him here. He done graduated. I'm like, where?
I'm like, what? We see y'all at that event. I said,
Yes.
who these black people?
Exactly.
Like, I work in the downtown
Yes.
area. I'm all in the community.
Yes.
I'm all over
Yes.
everywhere. And I'm like,
Where?
I ain't ever seen them.
Never.
I,
Never.
And I told her, I was like, they knew.
Yes. We said the same about y'all.
I was like, this area,
yeah.
I'm in the trenches.
Exactly.
I'm like,
yeah. Yeah.
But and I'm glad that we met.
Yes.
And so you get to Houston, you see a different vibe.
Mhm.
You see the support that comes
Yeah.
from from black women supporting
Exactly.
black women,
Yeah.
and you see like there's no competition. So
Mhm.
coming back, and you probably kind of seeing some people that was kind of probably in
Yes.
competition that kind of probably rained
Yeah.
on your parade a little bit, kind of
Yeah.
like, this ain't Houston.
This ain't Houston.
Yeah.
This ain't Houston.
You know, so it's kind of like, so the group that, you know, y'all's group
Mm-hmm.
is a good group.
Yes.
Like everybody in that group is a power packed. And
Yeah.
I think y'all are positioned in this area as the powerhouses.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that because y'all are my people, but
Yeah.
respectfully, like y'all are the voice in this
Right.
space
Right.
for successful black women.
Yeah, for
even
sure.
even when Tish came aboard and she's successful doing her
Absolutely.
thing, you know, y'all all were looking for each other
We
in
were
this
looking
tribe,
for each other.
and y'all found each other.
Yeah.
So I love seeing y'all get together.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your how'd you end up land in the construction space?
So the construction space, my husband is a general contractor. He built this beautiful space. Our home in Texas, Port Arthur, Texas, he did, total remodel. And a lot of people in the community know my husband. He's born and raised in Jeff. Everybody knows James. And he's done a lot of work here. And so really just looking at his craftsmanship and kind of tagging along on stuff. I would just show up, after working a corporate job, and he would be like, I think this. I was like, no, the window needs to go here. Let's flip it, put the kitchen in the back. As a mom, you want to see your kids playing in the backyard. And so those kind of conversations. And he's like, you got an eye for some stuff. I'm like, really? And so we wanted to do something together, because that's something else. Being married and having a business together is not for the weak.
Amen.
Yeah. So he's like, let's do construction. We're already doing it. Let's rebrand it and do it together. And so we started Collins Thornton Construction, small but mighty, and just seeing where it goes. Yeah, he's got a really vision for a project, and I find myself being the bad person with the budget, the money, calming down the vision. Everybody don't need an in-ground pool.
Right. inside with the sliding slide
with the Bose speakers, and the bar that comes up from the floor. You know how my husband is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And he is amazing. And y'all actually seen some of their work when I did the interview at the Bay.
Yeah.
That was their construction company that did all that amazing work on the inside of there. So and this place. We're going to tour this place. We're going to take a look at what this looks like and the craftsmanship and the flyness that's around this building, and you can see what it is. And this is Wall Street, and it's crazy because it sits on Wall Street.
Yes.
But I know the significance of it
Yeah.
is representing Black Wall Street, and
Mhm.
so the building sits on Wall Street, and its name Wall Street Business Center. And what we'll do is we'll take a tour of it, and y'all can see this lovely space, and it has an Airbnb piece on the side. So if you're looking to get space in this in the downtown area of Jeff, this is going to be the space. If you're looking to come in and pull up for the weekend,
Mhm.
the Airbnb is where it's at as well. So y'all see how this space is amazing. Did y'all see that? What was your vision for this space? As you said, I know it was to empower um, Black women, have a space where they
Mhm.
can come and go and build. But you're artsy and creative,
Yeah.
and you got some flyness to you, and
Thank you.
the picture here on the wall. But what really gets you is when you go in the bathroom. The bathroom
Yeah.
is all about women empowerment in the
Yeah.
bathroom.
Yeah.
You know, you come out of there, you charged up. I don't care. Male or female, I go to the bathroom. I was just like, oh, yeah.
I said what I said.
All the way
Yeah.
across the board, she
Yeah.
is 100 on that. But what was your vision as the
Yeah.
decor and
Yeah.
the space?
I really was all the corporate spaces I worked in, all the places we visit every day from the hospital to the library. I wanted my personality to show through. And so, yes, the floor, the wall can be vanilla, but you might have this funky mural that just says it all and just gives you like unexpected joy.
Right.
And that's how I show up, even in corporate America, and in my corporate job currently, this position, I'm over a plant and I have to wear a hard hat, coveralls, but the coveralls are fly. I have a closet, I'll change. Sometimes just because I'll have the hard hat and coveralls. And if I'm in the office, not production, I'll put on heels and they'll tell you at the plant. I tell them the motto is every hallway's a runway. And they'll just laugh, but that's me. Or I'll have on, some earrings that just say me. But when I'm in these spaces, the personality is so just antiseptic, and I'm like, let your personality show through, whatever that is.
For sure.
Yeah, and so that's what came out of the decor, the space, so, some of the sayings. I just wanted to be a reflection.
And y'all, it again, as y'all seen, this space is amazing and doesn't even do it justice. You got to actually be in here, and she's doing some big things. So what's the next move
Yeah.
for you in this in this space, and
Yeah.
not even this space, just in general?
In general.
What do you feel you being led to do in this in the
Yeah.
next season of your life?
So actually, there's two things I'm excited about. I'm currently, which I'm so honored to serve with you, IBE, Indiana Business Empowerment. I'm the
Mhm.
president of IBE. It's a small business network that we really support small businesses in Southern Indiana in the most detailed and intentional way because we understand that it's all the things. You know, I tell the story, yes, you made payroll, you paid your contractors, you paid the light bill, and then as a business owner, you got $100 left. You don't get
Right.
paid. And so those are real stories that we tell without shame, with support, and how can we show up for each other. So I'm excited about that. And then the next thing, I'm doing a podcast with my mom. I'm excited about that. Pink
That
Slip Posse.
that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. And it just came out of my corporate company. We just went through a major reorg, which a lot of companies did. And a lot of good people lost their jobs. And particularly women of color were really impacted with losing jobs. And what I found just through the sisterhood, through conversations, that a lot of people felt defeated, and which we all tend to do. We tie the corporate job to our identity, and so when they lost that, it's like they lost their worth and felt
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
I'm not good enough, I'm not. And I'm like, no, no, this is a purpose pivot in powerful purpose. And so, what are you going to do in this season? And again, our generation calls it pink slip when you lost your job, but it's really about conversations on gaining power from that change. Yeah.
That is, I think that's gonna be dope, y'all. The Pink Slip Posse, you gotta,
Yeah.
it's gonna be launching here in the near future, and you gotta tap into it. So, um, where can they find you at on social media?
I am on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. With your help, I'm growing my TikTok. Give the auntie a break of the social media. But Wall Street is also on Instagram and Facebook, IBE. So yeah, Facebook, Instagram is where they can find me.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so this has been an amazing conversation, and I just have one last question for you though, as we just
Yeah.
kind of been sitting here chilling. This has
Yes,
been,
for sure.
I enjoyed the
Me
conversation.
too, Dr.
Yeah,
Ball.
this is
Yes.
this was fun. So my last question for you though is, what is something that you didn't pay attention to when you were younger that you had to learn the hard way when you got
Hmm.
older?
Um, Boundaries. Boundaries. I really had to pay attention to boundaries. Again, that people pleaser. I just allowed things, space, distractions to take up a lot of energy and time that, looking back, it didn't even matter.
Right,
Doesn't matter.
right.
And so yeah, that was something you have to learn with time, but that is a big one. If I could go back and do, is boundaries.
Boundary.
Yeah.
Y- your boundaries is not for them.
Hmm.
Your boundaries is
Yeah,
for you.
absolutely.
And so that is a
Hmm.
great life lesson. You got anything else you want to say to the people before we shut this thing
Thank you
down?
for this. This is great. This is great. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for giving me the space just to have the conversation. And yeah, thank you for your time.
Well, look, y'all heard it here first. I love you like a play cousin. I'm out. Peace.